least that's what I've been reading about or whatever. But
It's Texas.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Nobody should be surprised about that being. We touched on this conversation last week. Nobody should be surprised about that being even discussed, whether regardless of where it goes.
here's the thing, because when you have first degree and second degree, those are two different. Second degree. Well, that would be more like manslaughter.
You have Texas.
Right, but what I'm saying is you still have to have you have to meet a certain level of the crime in order to receive a death penalty, and I think that's mostly.
It's going to be hard for it's going and
right.
Since we've had this podcast, since you started this podcast, I understand now why attorneys go for the lesser charge. Right, before I didn't understand it, because how can you prove that someone had an intent at that particular moment to kill that person?
Right, because that's what's going to differentiate between a death penalty versus life.
Right. It's easier to be like, hey, you had the knife, you went in to that dude's area, right? And you stabbed and killed the dude. Done. But to try to prove, yeah, you knew you were gonna kill him, all that type of stuff. That's
right, but it is harder. But what I'm saying is that came up is because I believe that there was some previous conversations to that incident happening prior to that event where there was talks of him doing something to the dude. You know what I'm saying? Or at that event or whatever. I'll have to pull that up to.
Wouldn't that still be hard to prove?
That, I mean, if
that particular person meant to do that though at that time.
Well, so if me and you are talking, right,
and
we're like, and we texting back and forth, and I said, I'm finna kill this motherfucker tomorrow. If he say something to me tomorrow, I'm gonna kill him.
Right.